Hello everyone. Hi. Just bear with. Yes. How is everyone this evening? Hello. As usual, just trying to get all of my comments. Hello. Oh, let's turn my noise off. I feel like I've done quite a good job there in terms of getting myself straight. That's quite good, isn't it? Yay! Hello everyone! Hello there! Hello there, lovely friends. How are we all? Oh. Hello to Petra. Yay, sneak peek time! Hello to Esther. Hello Vicky. Hello Lucy. Sarah Louise Baker's with us. Hello there, my dear. Claire Harrison. Hi, very excited for tonight. Hi, Danielle. Siobhan. Hello there. Stacey. Annalisa. Jessica. Oh, I'm so pleased you guys can all join me. I've not got anything in front of me at the moment, apart from a bit of glitter and fuss. Because I wanted to wait until we'd got a few people on the live before I reveal anything. Like I said, I did feel like I was quite straight, but now I feel like I'm not straight. But let me just try and straighten myself up again. I send myself mad with trying to get things straight. Hello Shani, hi Katrina, Alison Chelsea's with us, hello Emma. Now have I gone off kilter again? Facebook's a little bit behind whatever I'm doing, so I have to wait a little bit just to see how skew whiff I am. And sometimes I make it worse. Sometimes I make it better. Sorry, you can see a bit of my jumper coming into view there. Let me. Yes, I feel like I've made that worse now. Oh, it's such a tricky process. Right, I'm going to go with that. I feel like that's quite straight. Hello, Alison Green. Hey, Julie. And Elizabeth. Oh, there's loads of you joining us. I'm so happy. Now, I do have a cup of tea. So I hope you've all got a brew or whatever your tipple of choice is this evening. I've also got myself a cheeky little biscuit. Which I might have to have a little dip into my tea, because it is time for tea after all. Hello Alison. Right, we must be ready because we've got a trio of Alisons. So I think we're ready. You have to dunk your cookie. That's absolutely right. Okay. Here we go. Are we all ready? Let's show you what we've got on offer tonight. So tonight, I'm just showing you part of the new release, and I apologise for my unpainted nails. They are horrendous. Haven't had a chance to paint them. I've been so busy, and I figured that bare nails were better than chipped nail varnish, which is what I had. So, full disclosure time. The design team don't have any of my dies. Yes, everyone needs a trio of Alisons. So they have created some fabulous cards, which we'll be showing you over the next few days. But I haven't got any of those. Well, I've got some, but not any for the reveal that we're doing tonight. So there's not many cards for me to show you. I do have one card to show you that I've made today, and we'll be making a card tonight as well, which will show you how you can use some of the products that we're revealing tonight. So yes, the team don't have the dies, so they've not been able to make any of their samples with the dies. The dies are amazing. They're not yet in the UK, so again, full disclosure, the release will go live on Friday morning, whether they're in the country or not. If the dies are still on their way, then we will pop those items on extended delivery, but we will send out your stamps so that you can start playing with those in advance of your dies coming. So, but what I want you to be able to do is take advantage of the bundle deals that we will be having on offer. So obviously if you buy stamps and dies together, we offer them at a reduced price. So, here we go. This is what we're going to show you for tonight. And like I said, this is just a small part of the new release. But I absolutely love it. So, this is the stamp set that we're showing you tonight. And I'll just pop that the other way around because we've got something a little bit different on offer for you this month as well. So, this is the A6 stamp set. And it's called Smitten Kittens and is ideal for your Valentine's or loved up cards, shall we say. Because the sentiments that we've got in here, and I'll just bring this a little bit closer to the screen and hopefully you can see that. We've got the I Love Mew, we've got Happy at the bottom here so that you can choose. You can build your own sentiment here. So you can have Happy Chocolate Day, Happy Valentine's Day, or Happy Anniversary. So it's not just for Valentine's, you can use it for other occasions as well. We've got several Smitten Kittens. So we've got our little kitten here who's eating a box full of chocolates. We've got the little sleeping kitty there, which I can see some of you have already noticed the little sleeping kitty who is super cute. And we've got the cat here with the closed box of chocolates, the heart-shaped box of chocolates. We've got some heart-shaped balloons. We've got some individual chocolates there as well. This little cloud in the shape of a heart can go with any of your kittens, but really is for, when I designed it, I was thinking of the sleeping kitten. And these little images here fit inside that heart. We've got a little cat here who is just going for a little stroll, but you can use the balloons in his hand and some of the other accessories that are coming in some of the other sets that we'll be showing you over the next day or two. And then I know some of you already noticed the little kittens here with their tails in the shape of a heart, which is really sweet and can be used for so many different things. But again, I think whether you're thinking about Valentine's or anniversaries or just an I Love Mew, I think it works really well. Alison says, even I Love Mew chocolate, because I do love chocolate. Yeah, that's the one that Ant would definitely use for certain. So perfect for all different occasions. And I can see, you know, you guys saying about chocolate for birthdays as well, which is really cute. And this little cat chomping on his chocolates, I think is just really adorable. So what we've also done with this release is there were a number of images that I designed that I couldn't fit onto the stamp set. You only get so much space to put all of your images, and I always feel like it's such a waste because there are other things that I wanted to add that I couldn't, and I've just frozen there, so I hope I haven't frozen for everyone. I'll take this moment to have a sip of my tea and a dunk of my biscuit while I see if everybody's still there. Oh dear. Hello, can you guys hear me? I hope you can. Unfortunately I seem to have frozen, so I'm just going to come out of this and go back in. Bear with me one moment. Lovely, lovely people. That's not looking good. Oh, we could be back. Yay! You can all hear me, that's great. It must just be me. Sorry if you had to hear me munching there as well. We do seem to be having some really bad weather here at the moment. We've had a severe weather warning in this part of the country, so maybe that's interfering with my connection a little bit. So yes, so this is going to be a Digi release add-on. These are a little bit larger than they are in real life. When I've printed it out, it's printed out larger than real life. So it will be the same proportions as you see in your stamp set. Obviously, as Digi stamps are changeable, is that the word? You will be able to alter them and make them bigger if you want to. But yes, they really are meant to be sized with your stamp set so that you can use them for those for that purpose. So your little kitty here who's got his arm outstretched could be holding the little envelope. He could be holding this this other box of chocolates here, and he also could be wearing a little bow tie, or you could make it a little ribbon for the hair, for their heads. So you know, there's lots of different options here. Obviously there are no coordinating dies with Digi stamps, you would have to fussy cut them, but yes, it's just a little bit of something extra that I didn't want to waste. And then you've got extra little sentiments of Galentine's, you are perfect, thinking of you, and birthday. So again, as Annalisa mentioned, you could use the happy birthday if you wanted to, because some of these images will be perfect for birthdays as well. Alison says, it didn't really freeze, I just wanted to eat my shortbread. Well, that could be true. I did want to eat my shortbread. Julie says, hope your area isn't prone to flooding. Well, it has been in the past, but at the moment we're quite high up. Well, where I live, we're quite high up. So for the most part, we avoid it. But obviously, going into the towns where it's more of a valley, that's where we have problems. Annalisa says, by the way, I think your nails look lovely plain. I bite my nails so they don't look great. Oh, they don't. They have definitely suffered from having too many false nails, and they're very weak, and yeah, they're not good. And Julie says that her nails are horrid too, as she has psoriasis in your nails. Oh, that sounds painful, honey. So Alison's living at the top of the valley as well, but it obviously then it means you can't go down the hill. Yeah, so that's the disadvantage of being up high. Okay, so stamp set. So that's the stamp set that we're showing you for today. There are 3 more stamp sets to show you over the course of the reveal. So hold on to your hats. But the die sets that I want to show you that go along with this are our Lots of Love dies. Now, I've only got the sample dies here, which is why they're not in fancy packaging. Yours will come in the nice Time for Tea packaging, of course. But I wanted to be able to show you these so that you can see what you will be getting, rather than just a picture that is an illustration. So I wanted to show you what they would look like in real life when they do come. So the 2 cover plate dies that we have, these are European A6 size card bases, so they cover that card base. One is the vertical and the other is the horizontal, and each of these cut out lots of little hearts, which you can use in several different ways. I mean, the possibilities for these are just completely endless. And you're going to love them. And like Alison is saying there, you could also make stencils from them. Honestly, they're going to be amazing. So you're going to love those. And then this one is the Slimline version. So this fits a Slimline card base. It fits with our other Slimline nesting dies that you've had. Hello Angie, how are you? You've not missed too much. You have missed the kitties though. Smitten Kittens, and I know you're a big kitty lover. So yes, you're gonna love the Smitten Kittens. So again, this cuts out loads and loads of beautiful hearts, and all of the hearts are actually different sizes that you will cut out. So again, you can use those for lots of different things. So yeah, you're going to absolutely love using these, and I'm going to use this one in my demonstration today. I'm going to show Angie these Smitten Kittens again because she missed them and she's going to love them. And then the final die for today is our nesting hearts. Now, I've kept these really simple. They're super large dies, hearts. So the largest one is really quite large, and it does, I need a card base to show you really, don't I? I don't know if I've got one that is going to help you understand the size of this. Bear with me, I didn't plan on showing this, but I should let you know just how big this is. I'm sure I should have an A6 card base somewhere. It's bigger than an A6 card base anyway. Let me get my ruler out. So, bear with. Oh, got my ruler. That'll give you an idea. So, say, let's have a look. So the largest one is about 6 inches wide, and then from the top to the bottom is about 5 inches. So it's going to be, you know, for your larger cards, definitely that one's going to be perfect for. But then obviously you've got all the different sizes in between. I'm going to knock everything over, knock my lights over when I put my thing back. So this, yes, the tail's like a heart, huh? So yes, so they're a really good selection of sizes. They're nice and fat, which I like a fat heart. I know that sounds daft, but I don't like them too elongated. So I do like my hearts to look like they're very round, if that makes sense. So yes, a heart-shaped card as well you could make from these. So if you were to pop, either to cut 2 of these and then score 1 piece and attach those at the top, or you could put this over your fold line, the top piece over your fold line, and then die cut it, and that will create a fold in your card and wouldn't cut the top layer. So again, another really good idea there for using those. And all you need to do is snip off the bottom of the back piece so that you've got one straight piece at the back, and that'll stop the whole thing from falling over. They're available on Friday, Angie, so from 9 AM on Friday morning, but the dies will most likely be on extended delivery, but only for a short time, I'm hoping. So yes, so that's thank you everybody for updating Angie on the news. Excuse me while I just blow my nose. So I'm going to have my last piece of shortbread now before we move on to just showing you what we're going to do today. Excuse me. Okay. These are the coordinating dies, by the way. I didn't show you those, but these do come with coordinating dies. And like I say, I've got the sample ones, which is why they're not in the right packaging. So, I've got a few little examples of things that I've cut out to show you. There are plenty more dies and plenty more stamps to come later on in the reveal. I can't wait to show you everything. But I'm going to show you some little bits here. Now, first of all, what I'm going to show you is the card that I made earlier. And this is the card that I made using that little stamp with the tails like a heart. And I got that in shot there. Hopefully so. So to make this card, I've used several of the heart nesting dies. I made my background just using some inks actually, and I will do a demonstration on this another time. Not today because, like I say, I've got a little bit of a plan for what I want to do for you today. But if I just move that out of the way, I've got this really long acrylic block, and I smushed my inks, 3 different colour inks, along the side of this block and sprayed some water on it, and then I just dragged it down my my watercolour paper. Now this is actually, I think it's multimedia paper, because I did get a little bit of pilling, so I do want to try it on some proper watercolour paper, as I think that might work better. But yeah, I just dragged that across, and then where I needed to add a bit more ink, I added a bit more ink and dragged it again. And it seemed to work really, really well, and gave me a really lovely watercolour finish. And it was so much easier than actually using my watercolour pencils or paints or brushes. So I really liked the way that that worked out. And then I sprayed over it with some shimmer spray, and you probably can't really see the shimmer on screen there, but in real life it's just got a nice little subtle bit of shimmer to it. And then, like I say, I cut out some smaller hearts there using the nesting dies, and I cut some out of vellum as well. And then because they nest, I actually cut the centre out of this piece of vellum here with the smaller heart shape, and that makes for a really nice, interesting little die cut there. And then just positioned those around the outside, stamped out the happy anniversary onto some black cardstock and heat embossed that, and then just added some of our clear sequins. So it was actually a really simple card to make, but really, really pretty and effective. And I love the kind of watercolour streaks that the patterns left. So there you go. Hi Sandra, how are you? So yeah, and again, just really simple bit of colour in there for our little kitties. So I was really pleased with that one. So like I say, I may have to show you how we made that background another time. And then just to show you how some of these die cuts look when you cut them out. So just pop them there so that we can see what's going on. So our Lots of Heart Slimline looks like this when you cut it out. Let me get my DL card blank. So it's tiny bit longer than that, the DL card base, but you can cut that down, and it's a beautiful, intricate, but still quite graphic, if you like. It's not too flouncy, if that's a word. And I just really love how this looks. So you can either cut it out of some coloured cardstock, you can cut it out of white cardstock. I'm going to show you a really interesting way of using it as well a little bit later when we come to the demonstration, but I just think it looks so pretty. So that's your Slimline. The other two, which are part of the Lots of Love selection, you've got and I've got lots of bits of hearts cut out everywhere. You've got the vertical and the horizontal, and these look pretty much like this. And again, I don't have, what have I done with my card bases? Here we go. This is an A6 card base. This is what we need. So you see that will line up perfectly with your A6 card base. And again, You can do this from coloured cardstock. You can ink blend onto it. I feel like I need to move my camera up a little bit because I keep going out of... sorry guys, just bear with me a second. I'm just going to move you up a little. And I'm going to have to readjust. So sorry if that makes you feel a bit weird as I move you a bit. I keep going off screen down because I seem to want to be a bit higher up. Sorry if that made you all feel a bit queasy. So that would be on a side folding card base, or if you've got a top folding landscape, of course. And then this would be the vertical one here. So there you go, that's your vertical heart. So they're slightly larger. Now I've got an idea to use this as well, which I think will be really, really cool. And again, you can ink blend either your background and keep the outline in white, or you could ink blend the die cut itself and leave your background white, whatever you want. Danielle says, is it a US size slimline? Yes, it is a US size slimline, which is thinner than our UK version. So again, I can bring out my trusty old. So it's just over 3.5 inches, or 8.5 centimeters wide, and it is just under 8.5 inches in length. So and just over 21 centimeters if you're metric. So the reason for doing it that size is that the US size is 3.5 by 8.5, but I've done it slightly smaller than that, so that if you are working to an American size, you will get a slight white border, or a slight border around the outside, which I think looks quite nice. I don't know if you agree. If you don't, you can always chop your card down a little bit so that you don't have that border. So yeah, so these are really super pretty. Hi Jess, how are you? And loads of options. So I'm going to just show you here. I have ink blended a piece, and this is going to be a card that I'm going to make a bit later. If we get a chance to do it tonight, I don't think we will, but I've just used 2 different shades of ink to create my background, and then I'm potentially going to do a little bit of stamping in each of those hearts. So look out for that. So that's going to be a really cool project to do. So I just wanted to show you those, just so that you've got a view of what that would all look like once it's been cut out, because sometimes it's not so easy to tell. And oh dear, I'm throwing hearts everywhere. You will get, as I've got here, a lovely collection of different shaped hearts and different coloured hearts that you can use. You can use as shaker bits, you can use for your different cards, or you could even paper piece those back in, which is going to be a really cool thing to do. So we're obviously going to use our little cats today in our demonstration. I have prepped a couple of bits already just to just to help me along a little bit, because this is going to be quite a long video anyway, and I want to show you as much as I can. So I have already stamped out my little images, and I'm going to colour those in just so that you can see how I've coloured them in. But I have already coloured, you've already seen my little couple there, but I have already coloured some of these guys in. So I'm going to follow probably the same sort of colour scheme, just to, again, just to help me out a little bit in terms of time. I'd only stuck that on with a little bit of tape, so we'll just pop that on there. This little guy is super, super cute. the little sleeping cat, and then we've got the little, and if I can just dig out the little sweets here, and amongst all of this other stuff that I've got going on. So I don't want to show you everything that's happening. I'm going to share some bits as we go along of what we're going to do. And there we've got our little sweets. So how cute is that? So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of colouring, and I'm going to colour, I'm probably going to colour these 3 images here, is my thoughts. I'm not quite sure how many cats we're going to have on the front of our card today. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do with those, so I'm thinking I might just, if I colour all 3, then you'll get to see how I've coloured all 3, which will be good. But also, if we've got too many, it doesn't really matter. We don't have to use them for this project. So I'm going to follow that colour scheme. And I do already have, I have for once kept all my pens to one side so that I'm not going around scratching around for them like you normally find. At least I hope that I haven't got rid of them all. So we're going to get all of these. Let's get all of these out. Some of them are actually from a different project, so I don't think I need any of my yellows and oranges. Oh, I just dropped one. Bear with me. Oh, I'm knocking my lights off with my hair bun. Right, so got a fair few colours here that we can work with, and I'll show you those as we go along. But what I want to do now, I think, if we just pop that there, I'm going to try, again, I'm going to mess you about, guys. I'm going to zoom in. Do I write a list of the colours I've used? Do you know what? Sometimes I do. And sometimes I don't. So I really should do a better job of that for you, Angie. So let me see if it'll let me zoom. There, how's that for you guys? I think that's quite good, isn't it? Then you'll be able to see. Amy says, how is it that the way you've coloured them makes them look even cuter? I think it's just that when you add colour to an image, it does bring them absolutely to life, doesn't it? So I think, it's... but I must admit, this is probably one of my favourite sets. Andrew says, I try to, but I usually forget when I get lost in the colouring. Well, that's why I try to keep them all to one side, you see. Now, I will show you something that I'm working on, Angie. And again, I'm going to do a little video on this. I'm going to do a little bit of a swatch ring. And I am actually going to write down the colours that I use. So this is one of our little Catmas Crackers images, and I've actually written down the colours that I've used. You can see I've got some blank ones here that are waiting to be coloured in, and I can definitely use some of my Smitten Kittens on some of these blank pages so that I can show how these have worked. And then at the back there I do have the colour map of the little fox that was from the Cozy Winter. So it is my plan to be more organised this year and do a bit more of that, and so that when I come to colour something, I think, oh, I remember colouring that, but I can't remember what combination I used. This will be ideal. So yes, and do take a screenshot of those if you want to. Ginger cats are always the ones that I struggle with the most, so that's why I did that one first. Alison says, I'd love to see you colour a black cat. I have 2 black cats and I struggle colouring cat images black, which is probably why you've not seen me do one, Alison, because they are hard. I will agree with you. And I tend to, the closest to black probably is this little kitty here. that's because it is so hard to get the to be able to see the faces. The only other way of doing it, I guess, would be to do a really kind of a dark grey, but leave their muzzle and around their eyes as white. So we're going to go with the grey colour scheme for today. You can challenge me on the on the black cat. I will have a practice at the black cat for sure. So I'm going to start at the top with our kitty eating the sweets, because I don't want to rub my hand through the cats that I'll have coloured first. So if I do work my way down, I'm not likely to put my hand in maybe a cat that's not quite fully dried yet. So, and the reason I say that is because, I mean, they do dry pretty quickly, but you can still get a little bit of moisture from your Copics, especially if they're quite juicy. Now, I do have a bit of an issue with one of my markers actually in this this colour combination. So I'm using the N greys, which are the neutral greys, and I'm starting with the neutral 3, which is essentially my mid-tone colour actually. So normally when you see me colour, I will start with my lightest colour, but for this purposes of this, I find it easier to start with the mid-tone, because we're building up kind of a tabby effect. So all I'm going to do is just scribble in the edges so they're not so harsh with the N0, but that's all I'm going to do there, and then just come back in with that where I bleached it out a bit too much in some areas. So and then for the so this one, the N5, is the one that's juicy. Now, what happened when I was colouring this one initially, that it was so juicy that it left a great big grey splodge on my page, and I managed to bleach it out with my blender pen. But I did hear a tip today that if you take off the other end, it releases some of the pressure and hopefully stops it from splurging everywhere. So I'm going to then just add some stripes to the side of the face, a little bit of darker bits around the bottom of the ears, and I'm just squiggling some little stripes, and then the same on the little arms as well, just to mimic what would be the little tigery stripes. Do you know what? That seems to have worked in a very quickly bizarre way. Just going over those with the N3 again. And this is such an easy way of creating that little stripy cat. And then just go over some of those to blend those out. And if you want to do, you can darken those even further, which is what I did. And again, just so that this one feels like this one's a bit juicy as well. Just add another little line in the darkest of the grey. This is the N7. And there we go. So, and that just brings those out a little bit, doesn't it? So really that's a simple pimple. Let's have a think, which colour did I use for the little cheeks? I think I might have used the R11, so a little bit for the cheeks. I do like to do a little bit of pink cheeks and pink nose, and then so you know, that's your cat pretty much done. really quite easy. Petra says that she colours her black cats with C9 and C7 and only a little bit of C5. That's a really good tip. I will definitely try that. Julie says, fab idea doing swatches. I've got post-it notes stuck on the side of my desk for some hours that I love the colour combo used. So yeah, so all I've done is cut my swatch using one of my nesting dies and then punched a hole in it. And and now it's hung on my pegboard next to me, so I can just grab that whenever I need it. Jo, that is an amazing idea, says Amy. You should add them to the blog or as an album in the Facebook group so we can all copy your colouring combinations. Absolutely. I mean, all very great plans that I have just don't always become realities, but it's definitely something that I'm working on for sure. So for the sweeties, for the chocolates, I am using the E27 and I'm only going to use one shade because these are very small sweets, and the E27 is called milk chocolate, so it feels like this one is the perfect shade really. So I'm just using the very tip of my brush and I'm just colouring in. Some of them I'll colour in full like chocolate, and then some of them I've left the tops white or clear for me to then be able to add some other colour. And I'm just copying what I've done before for ease, because then we can make them look like they're different flavours of chocolate. So I'm not a fan of fruity chocolates. I don't know about you guys. What do you guys think? What are your favourite chocolates? There's a question. What are your favourite chocolates? If you had to choose a favourite, what would it be? I can't remember quite what colours I used here. I feel like they were a bit, maybe a bit browner, and then I used a few little pinky tones. So don't you know, you don't have to overthink it too much because there's going to be plenty of colour in this. There we go. And like I said, they're small. They are small images. I'm now using my BG11, which is going to be the palest of the kind of tealy minty colours. And again, I'm just using the very tip of my brush just to get into those narrower areas. Just use a really light touch. You don't have to, you know, think too hard about it. Just use that very fine tip. And then the BG23 will give me a bit of shadow. Again, just using the very tip around some of those corner places where there would be a bit more shadow. And then I'm just going to go from one edge to the other, and then with my back to my paler shade, just blend those in. And you can add a bit more depth to that if you want, or you can just leave it as is. And I think I'm just going to leave that as is. For the ribbon, I've gone for a really nice pink as well. Not the R11, it was actually the R21, which is a really nice pale pink. And this combination of colours, so R21, R22, R20, that is one of my favourites, I have to say. R22 will add a bit of depth. So in the valley there is where it will be darkest, and then underneath, again in the valley there, we'll have darkness. And then on where the curve is on the ribbon, that's where it will be lightest. And that's where the light is hitting the ribbon. So there we go, that's first image done, no problems. Alison and Oscar. Oh, Alison and Oscar are having to go to bed. I understand. You know, I think the colouring is what's going to make this a little bit longer, but hopefully not. So good night, Alison. Thank you for joining us. So onto this kitty, because these are the 3 kitties that we're going to be using, I think, and probably some of our balloons as well. So this kitty, again, we've done him in the same shades of grey, but we're going to do him in a slightly different way so that we're not having to colour. The great thing about doing cats, I think, a lot of the time is that you can just make up their markings. And, you know, they have, like my cat, Clyde, he is mostly white with patches of black. So he's really easy to colour. So this is kind of my homage to Clyde. So I've done just some patches with my N3, and then I'm going to go over those patches, but only in the centre. So the darkest bit will be in the centre, and then it will fade out. And then we will go in, and I'm going to take the top off that because I do think these are getting a little bit excited and I don't want to ruin my project. And then I'll go over all of that with the lightest shade to blend that in. He's got a fully black tail as Clyde, so that's why. Did I get any answers to the favourite chocolates? I didn't read the favourite chocolates. Unless it says yuk to fruit chocolate. Yes, I love caramel and milk. Same here. Oh, orange though. Chocolate orange. I agree. Chocolate orange I do like. That's the only fruity, the only fruity chocolate that I could go for. I don't like you know, when they put strawberries in things, but I'm not really a fruit fan. But I do love like caramel, salted caramel. Oh yes, please. That's really nice. But yeah, it has to be the caramel for me. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of that pink in his ears as well. So again, that's been really quick and easy for doing the body. And then for the box of chocolates, I think I possibly used, was it the R43? Let's have a look. Yeah, that looks right. So the R43 is a really nice pink, like almost a corally pink. But I'm going to use this as the base for the red. So I'm not going to do it everywhere. I'm going to do it where I know my lightest bit's going to be. And then I'm going to go in with the R35 and fill in pretty much where all of the darkest bits are going to be. So again, just use the tip of your brush where you need to. Add the darker bits underneath the bow, underneath the paw, and then from one side of the base to the other. I hope you guys can see that okay. I try not to get my hand in front of what I'm doing, but it's hard sometimes when you're trying to see where you're colouring as well. So I've just gone over those areas with the R43 to blend those in. And then to create a little bit more depth, I'm going to add in some R37. And again, where there's going to be the deepest bit of shadow, that's where I'll go in with just some of that deeper red. So not everywhere, but just enough to create that bit of dimension. And these are, I know when we did our last live on Thursday, I got lost in the colouring of my my images then, the treat yourself. I think you'll do that with these as well, because they're not incredibly difficult to colour, but they are so much fun to colour. So for the bow, we're going to pull in this same minty colour. So I'm trying to keep my colour scheme fairly similar across the board, because that will help us create you know, a little bit of cohesion. Is that the word that I'm looking for? It just gives a little bit, makes it just look a little bit like it's not being thrown together. Everything coordinates, which is nice. So same colours as before, but I have added in a slightly darker shade with the BG49, and I just think that's a really good one to add depth for where the where there's a little bit of creasing in that little bow. So for our cat here, I think I'm going to use the same sort of colouring that we did for this cat. I know I did him all in the grey there, but I feel that he probably needs a little bit more white so that he doesn't stand out too much from what we've already done. So I'm going to give him a nice patch on there. He can have a patch on his paw there, and again on his tail. And I think that really is all he needs. So we can colour these guys in really quite quickly if we try. Angie's a fan of dark chocolate, and Julie loves white chocolate or milk chocolate with fudge. Oh yes, that sounds nice. Ant's favourite chocolate is white chocolate as well, but he likes all chocolate. I mean, it's ridiculous really. I think he has got an issue with chocolate. He can't go a day without chocolate. And he's set himself a bit of a challenge to try and go without chocolate. It lasted 3 days. It lasted much longer than I actually thought it would, to be honest. I think it might have gone out of the window now as an idea. But you know, he tried. But then I don't think I could go 3 days without a cup of tea or without bread. Bread's my thing, definitely. I'm more of a savoury girl than a chocolate girl. But if I'm going to have chocolate, I do like dark chocolate, and yeah, I like caramelly things as well. So I'm just adding a little bit of the N0, which is almost an invisible, almost a blender shade really, but it just adds a little bit of depth where we might need it. And then some pink to the ears, and there you go, he's done. So for the so I'm just going to turn this around because we need to do our balloons, and then we're done. You'll be pleased to know. So I'm going to do the balloons in the same way that I did them before because they match our colour scheme. So again, the same shades of the minty colour, so the BG shades. And I'm going to leave this area here the lightest. So what I've done is I've just created like a little arc there that is essentially where my light's hitting. And I'm just going to blend that away. So you can just see that there's a little bit of a lighter shade there. And then this is a very dark green, so I'm not going to add too much of that because it is quite a distance, but what it will do is just give us enough shading for that to look distinct from the back, from the foreground. For the red balloon, I think I may have just used 2 shades here. Excuse me. I'll just catch up with some of your comments. Amy says she loves how 3D the bow looks. Thank you. Harry said he likes all the chocolate. Amy says she's more of a jelly sweet person. Me too. Yes, I am. Julie did 2 months without chocolate. Wow. Yeah, I'm not sure any of us could do that at the moment. It feels like we need chocolate to get us through lockdown. Maybe they should offer it on prescription. So I'm just going to add a layer of my red, and then the darkest shade we'll just bring in from one side. And like I say, I'm going to leave that side lighter, and we're going to add a little bit of light to that when we come to add our little bit of Jelly Roll pen, which you know is my favourite thing to do. Right, now then, what have I done with... I've got my R21, but I feel like I should have an R22, an R20 somewhere. Did I put that one back? Or have I just buried it? Here we go, here's one. So, because I feel like I need the paler shade first. Oh, it sounds very rainy outside. I don't know if you guys can pick that up, but it sounds very, very rainy out there. My little girl's out in this, I think, unless Aunt's let her back in, which he probably won't have because he's in the other room trying to study, and also trying to give me space to be able to do this in quietness. So let's blend that in there. Lovely. And then I've used the same shades of mint. Oh, keep rolling off the side here. For the bow. So I'll just keep that nice and simple. And a bit more depth to that. And just bring that to life a little bit more. Excellent. Yay! So for the sweets, when I did the sweets, I can just do those in case we need them, because I don't think, you know, we might not need them. But there are 2 ways to do these. Actually, I did do one as a red one, but I'm going to do this as a chocolatey one, and I'm going to use the E23 to blend in with that one. Oh, I've got a little bit of fluff on the end of my pen there. Just to make that a nice chocolatey one. And then for the top of this, again, we're just going to use those same reds. I do hope that the colouring's not too boring for you guys, because I know when it's not sped up, when I'm doing lots of images like this, it can be a bit time consuming, can't it? But I just wanted to show you that actually they are very, very easy to colour. So there you go. Alison says she loves jelly sweets, but since she went vegetarian, she hasn't had any. Found some vegan marshmallows yesterday, though, which were tasty. Do you know what? We've not been able to find any marshmallows that are veggie, but we have found jelly sweets that are veggie, thank goodness, because myself and Anne are both veggie, and yeah, that's one of the things. Percy pigs are vegan. I didn't think they were. But maybe they are, maybe they're not, according to Google. Maybe they do a vegan version of them, because some places do that, don't they? Right, okay, let's get the dies on here. So I'm going to have to move these little guys out of the way. So, and they are just very, very cute. I agree. So, like I say, your dies will come in proper packaging. Mine are the samples that I managed to get hold of, because I wanted to be able to show you what you know, what you were going to be getting. I don't always get samples beforehand. I often have to wait till they come same time as everyone else. But I felt it was probably going to be beneficial this time around. Oh, Percy pigs are vegan. Used to get them for work because everyone could eat them. So there we go. It's confirmed. Percy pigs are allowed. Good news. See, we learn something every day. Time for tea. So, excuse me. Let's pop that on there. And then we'll, like I say, we'll cut out these little ones so that we can use them if needed. And I just think, you know, you could, if you think about all the different kinds of sweets there are, these could actually just be, you could colour these in like they were jellies rather than chocolates. So you could add some of your stickles to the top of them and make them look like those, like jelly tots. Do you have jelly tots in America, Annalisa? Do you know what jelly tots are? We all have different things, don't we? M&S, here I come. Right, I'm going to zoom back out a bit. So hold on to your hats. And hopefully I've stuck those down and they've not shifted about in my machine, because that would be a disaster. Right, let's see what we've got here. And I do love I love die cuts because they look so great when they've been die cut, I have to say. Look at these guys. Oh, I feel like I've frozen again. I hope you guys can see me. I'm just going to come out and go back in. Sometimes that reboosts me so that I can see what you can see, because I can't see anything at the moment. I can't see any of your comments. So what I will just show you here as well, and again it's going to be quite difficult for you to see, but you do get a little cut in between each of your balloons, which is really cool. Oh no, I seem to have frozen. And finally that little chocolate. Cool, so they're all our little images, so I'm going to pop them up there to one side for the moment while we figure out what we're going to do with our background. Now our background, I've thought of hopefully what's going to be a cool idea. We'll soon see. I've already cut out our lots of love, see if I can get the words out, lots of love Slimline cover plate die. I am going to have to start coming up with some simpler names for everything, because I can never remember the names of things. Oh, I've got very stuck now. Here we go. Sorry guys, I'm just my seems to have got stuck, my PC, a little bit. So I did put these back in here. I'm just going to move them to one side. Here we go. Hey, I'm back, I think. So I've already cut that out, and I've already made myself a card base that is slightly larger than my panel die, because like I say, I wanted it to be slightly larger, and it is pretty much the size of a US Slimline card. So that's cool. You can't quite see what I'm doing now, can you? Let me just jiggle things around a little bit. I might have to zoom out a little bit more. How's that? It's a little bit better, isn't it? It's a slimline card. It doesn't all fit in screen. Okay. So, and then when I cut this out, obviously, of white cardstock, I was left with lots of little white hearts. So what I've done with those hearts, or some of those hearts, if I can get them all to come out, is I've inked them up with some of my distress inks. So all I've done, and you could do this beforehand, you don't have to do this afterwards, but after I die cut all of those pieces, I then went back and I've used some different coloured inks to ink up some of these hearts. So we've now got a selection of hearts in all different colours, which I just think look so cute. So my idea, should it work, is to inlay. So I'm just going to stick that down onto there so that I can show you what I mean. And again, I've gone off camera a bit. Let me move up a little bit so that you can see. Is to then piece some of these back in to my original piece. So, and you know, we will pop them in different places. We'll mix up the colours, and just make our own little patterned background with some random paper piecing, which I just thought would be really very cool. So I'm just making a little jigsaw here with where I think things look pretty. But what I need to work out is where I'm going to put my little images. So so yeah, this is the plan. And if this guy's going to have balloons, yeah, that's kind of cute. Or shall I put the balloons at the top? Like this. And then I'm going to arrange my pieces around where my little animals are going to be. My little kitties are going to be. And I'm going to use a little bit of tape just on there, just to stick that to his paw so that I can keep him together for the moment, just so that I know what's going to happen. So I think this is going to be a cute idea, and then I need to think about what sentiment do I want to use. So and I think we could do a combination of I love Mew and happy. I'll do a happy Valentine's Day. I think we'll make it a happy Valentine's. I think. So yeah. So this is my plan. So let's take those away. Let's take these out, and then I'm gonna do a thing. I'm gonna do a thing, she says, and we'll see if it works. See, I can stick that. I could probably stick that down now. We were going to pop him there, weren't we? Pop him up there and pop that there. So, and then let's have, hello Elizabeth, how are you? Loving it. Could fill back in with rainbow hearts. Absolutely. I mean, honestly, the things, the ideas with using this background, you're going to be at it forever. So we're going to have, we can have a little I love Mew, and then happy, oops, and then we'll do Valentine's Day. Down there. I think that's going to work. I'm happy with that. So I think what I'll do first, before I construct everything, is stamp out these sentiments so that I know what I'm doing. So let me move all of my little hearts out of the way, and we can move this out of the way as well. And I'm going to get my stamping platform out. And I'm going to stamp these onto black cardstock, but I have got a theory that they might look nice maybe on some red cardstock. But it's hard to know whether that might fight. I think the black might just make it stand out a little bit more. So I'm going to do the black first and see how we like it. So I need a bit of black. Ooh, I feel like I'm knocking things over with my butt. Right, what's this? This looks like a nice piece of black cardstock. Fabulous. I don't need quite as much as that, so I'm going to... Oh, I need my bigger chopper. Chop this one down. So I don't need all of that. So let's get my lovely tonic chopper out. And then let's pop this into here like so, and I'm going to rub it down with some of my, if I can get it out, anti-static powder. Make sure that's all coming out. Get a nice coverage on there, and then pop that back in its little home. So we've now got Valentine's Day, and we've got happy, and we've got I love Mew. And I'm going to try and line those up so that I can cut them all out in one go, but who knows. And I'm going to just pop them down first, and then I'm going to line them up properly with the lines on my grid, which are straight, unlike my eye, which cannot line things up straight if I tried. So that's quite good. And then the day, I'm going to pop that up as close as I can to Valentine's, because for every stamp has the tiny little bit of the polymer around the outside. So what that means is that there will be a natural gap even if you layer those right up next to each other. And just give that another spritz over, and use my embossing ink and pop that on there. Give that a good coverage, and then close the door on my platform, smush that over. I think that's got a really good coverage, so I'm not going to do that twice if I don't need to. got a little bit of scratch paper and my Wow white embossing powder, and chuck that over, and just a couple of layers of that just for good measure. Give it a gentle tap off. Now I'll just pop that to one side while I clear up my mess before I get it everywhere, which I'm very inclined to do. There we go. And pop that to one side. I've got that all inside there. Never mind. And I'm going to get a teeny tiny brush, and I'm just going to wipe away any extra little bits that we've not quite managed to flick off. You don't want to flick it too violently, because then you'll flick all of it off and then you have to start again. But yeah, oh, I've got a bit of glue, I think, on the end of there. Sometimes if you've got bits in you know, in delicate places like this bit here, using the end of your pokey tool just helps you clear that out if you're a bit careful. But I'm happy with that. So I'm going to create a little bit of noise now with my heat tool. Night, Elizabeth, thank you for staying up. Vanessa says, completely forgot what time you were live tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing these cute cats. I couldn't quite read the rest of it. Thank you for joining us, Elizabeth. You'll get to see the final version tomorrow. I will put some pictures up. So, giving that some heat to set it. Lovely. Hang that back on my little stand that I've got. Okay, let me just pop that to one side, and I'm just going to clean off my stamps here with my chamois. Sorry about the squeaking, it does make a bit of a squeak, but it's so good at cleaning. I love it. Okay, pop that back, and we can pop these away as well. I can feel the heat coming off my heat gun still. Pop that in there. Definitely made a bit of a mess on there. Does anyone have any tips, says Petra, on no line colouring? I lost the details in your bunny faces. So I think for the faces, I think some people add those back in afterwards, maybe with multi-liner pen perhaps, because you can, I think that is one of the dangers, is that you lose the detail on the faces. Or you could potentially mask the rest of it and just stamp the faces back over the top, maybe. I've not really done any no line colouring, and it's something that I want to try. I did buy some ink specifically for that, some grey ink in a lighter grey, so that I could try it, but as yet I have failed in that mission, so I need to do it. So that's my sentiments. Let me get some fairly clean microfiber cloth and give that a rub over now so that it's nice and clear. And then we can cut these out. Now there are a number of dies coming up in future sets that will help you cut these out, but I can't show you those just now. Excuse me. So I'm going to use an oldie but a goodie die to cut this out. And I have, do I have another one here? I think I want to use all the same size die actually, so I may have to run this through a couple of times. So because this is nice and small, I'm going to use my little Diddy die cutting machine, which is very cute, and it'll be a little bit quicker than putting something so small right the way through my Gemini. Oh, sorry, just knocking everything over. Danielle says bought a special ink pad for it but failed to see also. Bless you. Oh, my little kitty's up at the screen. Someone tell Anne to let her in. Anthony. So that looks like that's going to fit both of them in, so I'm going to go for that and see what happens. Hello, are you wet? I don't know how to alert him to the fact that you're here, sweetheart. We'll see what I can do, thanks. Haven't used a stamping tool, so stamping again is a problem. Ah, I see. So maybe if you do use like a little one of these little multi-liners, you can get them in different size nibs, and then maybe you can just add the eye detail back in, because I think it's sometimes if you lose the eyes, you've kind of lost their soul, if that makes sense. That could be an option, but like I said, I've not tried it, so but it could be worth a try. Please bear with me one moment, folks, because I have a very wet cat outside who needs to be rescued. So just bear with me, because Ant's locked away and has not a clue of what's going on. So bear with me, and I'll leave you looking at the cuteness just there. We're back. Rescued the cat. She's very wet through, bless her. So sorry about that. Okay. Yes, we always have a Rosie interruption, don't we? We can't get through a live without a Rosie interruption. Never mind. She's worth it. Okay. So, moving on then to putting this together. So, I wasn't intending on using the banners here. I'm going to cut these down, although I do quite like the banner now we've done it. But let's just snip that off. So we're going to have a love Mew there, and then we can have a happy there. Oh, it actually works out quite well. Accidentally on purpose. Lol. And then we could have Valentine's Day there. Now my banner tail is a little bit long at that side, so I do quite like the little banners. So let's get the little tiny die cutting machine back out, and we'll make this just a little bit shorter. I did think I'd just snip the ends off, but now I've seen it. A little fishtail banner's always a good thing, isn't it? So I'm just lining that up so it's in exactly the same place. And then pop that through. And that should be sorted. I do love that little die cutting machine. It's so handy for doing little things like this. So, perfect. Right, now then, we've got things coming together. Does the die set include the banner that you cut the sentiment out with? No, not this one, but there is, actually, let me just double check. Because we've got several die sets coming up that have a variety of different dies that will cut out your sentiments, and there is a banner die in that. Let's have a look. A grey fine liner isn't as harsh as the black. That's a good idea, Amy. Yes, good shout. So Amy's tried drawing the eyes back on, and they look like coal. So yeah, so maybe using a different coloured fine liner might be better. So now we've got our layout pretty much sorted. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the background on, and then we'll place our pieces around where our cats are going to be, and then we can stick our sentiments on as well as the kitties. So, oh, this is going to be the fun. This is the fun bit. It's all fun, but I love it when it all starts to come together. So yeah, black I think can look a bit harsh. So let us know how it goes, Petra, because yeah, if you can give us some tips for when we come to do it, that would be fab. Oh, it's my so I've got like a little fitness watch. It's not as posh as a Fitbit. It was only a cheap one off Amazon, but it tracks my steps, and it's my sleep patterns, and it tracks my I can record my blood pressure or whatever it is. My blood pressure, my heart rate, sorry, which is all very interesting, but I don't really use it for anything much really, other than tracking my steps mainly. But what it does, it alerts me if I've been sat down for too long. So I get like a little buzz if it thinks I've been sat down for too long, which, you know, in my line of work now, it happens a lot that I'm just sat for long periods of time. So yeah, and it's just buzzed at me, but I'm not actually wearing it because I don't like it appearing on camera. It's a bit bulky and it gets in my way a little bit. So I've started taking it off when I'm filming. But I've got it beside me because it is handy to just keep track of time. Not that I've really looked at it, because once I get going, you know me, you know, there's no stopping me once I get going. So I think I've applied enough glue on there for that to stay in place, and then we're just going to line that up so that it's got an equal border all the way around, and hopefully I've got that pretty straight. Any glue that squidges out, it's clear drying, so it won't matter, and we'll also be able to cover that up more than likely with some of our little critters. So this is where my little images are going to be, I think. So yeah, that seems about right, doesn't it? So let's get some of these little hearts, and I've used hearts in the same colours or the similar colours to what we've used for colouring our images. So they should all work really nicely together. And this is where now I'm going to be fiddling around, not really being able to decide. But it's all good fun. very, very cute. And I'm trying to keep things quite random. I don't want it to look like they're particularly organised, if you know what I mean. Obviously they are organised, but I don't want it to look like they're in any particular kind of formation. Almost like they've just fallen into place where they land. That one can go there. It's like putting together the cutest jigsaw. I feel like maybe a red one there, but there needs to be another red one there. Oh no. That looks like a different pink. Maybe that one there instead of a red one, unless I can just quickly make it red. What do we think to that? How does that look? Now if we pop our... It'd be good to stick that die to double-sided sheets. That's where the hearts would be like little stickers. Yes, that would be cool. So we're going to have that there. That's going to go there. And then the happy is probably going to go there. So if that's the case, then maybe we move that one down there. Yes, that's good. I like that. That one can go there. Yes, I like that. But I feel like I want this one to be red. And I feel like that's a different colour of pink. So... or we could just leave that one blank. Now we've got that there. Yes. I think I'm quite happy with that. Or, here we go. No, we've got two, that's two pinks too close together. I'm not down with that. That was definitely the right way around. What do we think? Had a little bit of a fluff around there, but I am happy with that now. So I'm just going to move these guys. Let's try and remember where everything is meant to go. But this should be quite easy, and I'm going to use my tweezers here just to help me out a little bit. If we work our way through carefully, we should remember where everything went. So, I hope you guys are all loving this new release so far, and excited to see what else we've got coming up. Tomorrow's is very, very cool. And some more really cute images for me to colour. I feel like I've not put enough glue on that one. Might be better just putting my glue directly on the base, maybe. Maybe I do that. Oh, they're like little tiddlywinks. They're just flying about everywhere. Yeah, let's do it. Let's try it this way. Might be making things a bit more difficult for myself. And Amy's idea of the stickers would be great as well. Yep, you could definitely do that and run it through with some double-sided tape, double-sided sheets, like Wild Spider do some, which are really cool. Now that one went in there, they've all flicked out of place. Don't do that to me. That one in there. do love this this paper piecing idea. And when I designed it, I just, in my head, I thought, yes, this is going to look so cute, paper pieced. And I very rarely get a chance to try any of these ideas until it comes to the lives. So that's why I enjoy doing this, the reveals this way, because it means I do actually get to play with some of the new release and show you how amazing it can be. But hopefully that's what you guys think anyway. And I'd be really interested to hear what your thoughts are about the reveals that we do. You know, I'd be really interested to see if you enjoy the reveals this way. I enjoy them anyway, so I hope you guys do. I just think in my head it just seems that it's you can show, like I say, illustrations, and you can show examples of what the rest of the team have done, which are all gorgeous. But I think sometimes seeing somebody do it just makes it make more sense, doesn't it? Oh, everybody's saying such nice things. Thank you so much. Need to do one like this for my hubby from our Clouder for his Valentine's card. Oh, that's so cute. Petra says she loves it. Petra says, I'm not a heart person, but I'm loving the cats and can't wait to see more. Vanessa says, I love seeing them and watching others craft as well. Great for ideas, and the chat is great for hints and tips too. Fantastic. Definitely like a review with examples of what you can use them for, Jo. Oh, that's good. I'm glad, because you know, you never know, you never really know, do you, whether it's what people want. But you guys keep coming back and tuning in, if that's the right term. So I'm hoping that means that you're enjoying them. So let's get to a few bits of foam, because I want these guys can be popped up. We've not really got any dimension, although we've got some a good amount of what's the word, interest, I suppose, from the background. It's not really dimensional, so I quite like to add a bit of dimension with my foam pads here. I'm just going to cut some down. Might have made that a little bit too big still. Do it like that, and I just want a few little bits on the end there, you see, so I don't want my balloon to not have enough sticky. And then where his paw is, sorry, I hope you can see that, and then let's remove the tape. I love watching people do lives like this, and I will tend to either be crafting along with them, or I will be doing work of other sorts. But I just find, like you say, the chat in the background, hearing what people are doing and getting ideas, it's just really, really, really cool. So, and you know, that people are willing to invest their time in doing them and in watching them, you know, it's just, it's great. It really is. So let's pop some of this on here. Trim that one down as well, and pop that on. Oh, this one is the not very good tape, I feel. I've got some tapes that I've just, you know, in my stash, cheap ones that I'm trying to use up, but there's a reason why I've not used them much. Can I get a little piece on there, do we think? It's going to have to be super, super thin. So keeping it on the carrier sheet just means that my scissors are less likely to get clogged up. Sorry, I've gone a bit quiet. Danielle's had to go to bed. Oh, bless you. Well, thank you for staying up so late, hon. I know it's a late one for a school night, isn't it? Although, you know, it's not a school night for us still, really, is it? I don't think. But, you know, for us workers, it is. I think I shall most certainly be heading straight to my bed after this as well. But you know what? This card is very, very cute. I'm very happy with how it's turning out. I do wish that I'd used some of my other foam tape. But you live and learn, don't you? This is not the best, but it will do. It will do. See, look, it's wanting to come off. Oh dear. This is not like my foam roll. I should have used my foam roll. There we go. It's daft, isn't it? Because I've just persisted with it when really I shouldn't have done. But hopefully they won't come flying off. So that's that bit. I'll get rid of this. Oh look, so I am going to use my foam roll. So this is my lovely giant foam roll here, and it's thin, and it will be perfect for my sentiments to add some dimension. So I'm just going to use them as a guide to get the right amount of tape. And thank you for staying up with me, guys, those of you that have managed to stay up. I do appreciate you sticking with the whole live. I know it's a long one when I craft as well. Put that down there. Let's start at the top. See, that's much better. And then we line that up with the outside. I think I've got that nice and straight. And the happy will go just there. And then the final bit is the Valentine's Day. Which goes just there. That worked out perfectly, didn't it? Sometimes these things just come together and you didn't even realise it. So I'm going to add some highlights now to my colouring. I didn't do it before for the simple reason that the Jelly Roll pen does take a bit longer to dry, and because I'm going to be manhandling the images while we do our placement, I don't want to smudge it, which I've done several times. So I'll just add highlights there, highlights in there, and just a few on here as well. So our little finishing touches. And for the eyes, we have our black glaze pen. I'll just take the top off that, because the black glaze does tend to just get a little bit of a top on it sometimes, like it dries over a little bit. So just give those eyes a little bit of brightness, and then the final thing is is this my glaze pen? Yes. So this is my clear glaze, and I just think that that is the perfect thing for their noses, because I don't want it to be too raised, but it's nice to add a little bit of that to their noses. And what we could do is maybe add some of that to the balloons if you wanted to, but I'm happy with that as it is. So I think that's our card done. I love it. I love how colourful it is. I love the paper piecing. Those little cats are so cute. The fact that we've been able to use the sentiments like that, I think that just takes us through the card. It's yeah, I love it. I'm really happy with it. So 2 cards that we've got there for today. We've got a happy anniversary, and we've also got our Valentine's Day card. So 2 really different cards, but using the same set. So I hope that you've enjoyed that. I hope that that's been a really, it's not been too long and laborious. Oh, I've realised I'm fully on the one counter there. Thanks so much for staying with me and watching. Alison says she's back just in time to see the finished masterpiece. I think it was worth it. Julie says that she loves the card and is loving this part of the release. Going to have to go as Harry's still awake and he's got school tomorrow. Oh, he needs to get himself to bed. Thank you for watching, Julie. Fab card, says Alison. Thank you. Hi, Jenny. How are you? Alison says she loves the large foam rolls that she got from me. Fantastic. I'm so glad that you've used them. Lots of people, it's a school night, so have a really good evening. Go get some rest. Zamara, thank you for the love. Angie loves it. And Lisa says terrific card and love the pastel hearts. Vanessa says both are so cute. Night, Angie. Thank you for joining us. Amy loves them both. Lucy says gorgeous card. I love it. Can't wait to get my hands on these kitties. And Siobhan says thank you for demonstrating. Kitties are so sweet. I am I'm a big cat lover, and I just love these little fat cats. To be fair, this one here reminds me of Rosie. I don't know whether I've gone, whether you've lost me. No, I'm still there. Yeah, this one here reminds me of Rosie. I hope you guys can still see me at this point. She's always eating, and she's a little fat cat. So yeah, she's that one might be my favourite. So yes, I'm just checking that we're still live, but we are going now to let you all go to sleep. So thank you for joining me again. Thank you as always for all of your love and support. It means the absolute world to me, and I love doing these lives. So I shall see you tomorrow for the second part of our reveal. There are 3 parts, but there are 3 more stamp sets to show you. So lots of exciting things still to be seen. So have a great evening, everyone, and I shall see you all tomorrow. See you soon, guys. Bye.